ain't bad a bitch. Listen. Listen. I ain't bad a bitch.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of
Ain't bad a bitch.
My Time That Shit Right. Hey, look, this is an unapologetic show, man, where we talk about topics. You're free to express your opinion and everything. So, cut the theme music. A lot of y'all are getting misinformation out there, and even fact check my information as well with this. A lot of people are getting outraged because the topic of defunding the police is coming up. Hey, what's up? What's up? A lot of people are getting outraged with that. And it's always hard for me to do these topics because I do have a close friend or close friends that work in the police department. So that are police. So it's like it's hard for me to do these topics because on one hand, I do know cops, and the cops that I know don't do the type of shit that's going out in these streets. How do I know? Because if they did, I wouldn't be fucking with them because I'm an advocate of that. Most of the cop friends that I have are similar to me as they share the same interests, whether it be video games or music production or video production or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Computer builds and stuff like that. So they have a lot of interest in some of the stuff that I take on. And a lot of them, I go see them on a regular, or I may see them maybe once or twice. There's a particular one that always invites me to their Christmas party, and we go out there and have a blast. And me and him have so much in common, and I appreciate and I love that brother. But he's the officer, right? So this is the thing: defunding the police does not get over here. Over here. Sit. Good. All right. So defunding the police does not mean that they're going to get rid of the police department, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be open season for criminals or open season for you to do what you want to do. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is that they're going to take some of that money that the police department gets and then allocate it to other places where it can go that will be more beneficial, like schooling or health departments or recreation parks and stuff like that, other type of government officials, right? That should be allocated to other departments, right? Because a lot of people feel, why am I going to pay? What's up, Eric? Why am I going to pay a branch or an organization that kills me? All right? This is not S&M, right? This is not fucking S&M. We don't like getting, as black people, I mean, if that's what turns you on and you do that shit in the privacy of your bedroom, then yeah, I appreciate that. But when you, if you want to be subjected to that S&M shit, then brother, you go ahead with chains and whips and the balls in your mouth and all that other shit. Oh, still playing music? All right, hold on. Okay. All right, I don't know why that is. All right, okay. So hopefully y'all heard me. Sorry about that. But like I said, let me just recap some of the stuff that I said because I didn't know that the music was still playing. You know, it's difficult for me to do these type of videos because I do have friends that are officers, right? And if they were involved in that type of activity, I wouldn't fuck with them, right? Because I have no cut cards. I have cut off plenty of fucking people in my life that I don't socialize with. And when I'm done with the person, anybody that can tell you in my personal life, when I say I'm done with a person, I am done. Now that is a flaw in my character because unfortunately I've had two partners that have died that I held grudges against because of some actions that they took. And this has been recently. And this is part of the shit that I go through, right? So in that retrospective, I say that I only fuck with people that's real, right? So, getting back to the topic in hand, defunding the police is not saying, okay, we're going to get rid of the police department. That's not what the shit is saying. It's the funds are being allocated to other departments or to other areas, parks and recreations. Yeah, that's something that we gotta overcome, Eric. That's really something. It's easier for me to say than to do it, right? But you have to where was I at? So it's saying that they're going to put that money somewhere else, and it's not saying that they're going to totally disband the police department, right? There's still going to be police out there doing what they do. But as far as getting funded, they're not going to have as much of that disposable income to do. Now, since 9/11, some of the police departments across the country have gotten all types of gear, riot gears, these pepper spray guns and all this other stuff, and tanks and all types of shit that like they about to go to fucking war, right? So that all those materials were for, and Eric, if I'm wrong, let me know, right? All that material was for, like, if there was another war that was supposed to that went on, a terrorist act, right? So if the terrorists came over here and they started blowing up shit, that was meant for them, right? All that shit wasn't meant for peaceful protesting. That's not what that shit was meant for. It was meant for the terrorists, people that come over here to harm our country. And even with the people rioting, I am a stickler for this. And let me turn the volume down a little bit. I am a stickler for this, and I stand by my word, and I'm unapologetic to that. I don't see and quote me on this, I do not see a problem with them rioting, right? Don't see a problem with it. Why? Because if it wasn't for the riots, we wouldn't have gotten heard. Peaceful protest only works after you have to fuck some shit up. And that's my opinion, and that's my belief. You gotta fuck some shit up to get heard, right? If you lie down like a dog and let motherfuckers walk all over you, then people gonna take advantage of you. They're not gonna be heard because they're like, okay, he's a bitch nigga. He's a bitch nigga. I'm gonna walk all over this motherfucker, and then that's what they do, right? So you have to. It's a different age and time. I mean, peace out to the King family and all that other shit, and a lot of those King people, I think that Martin Luther King ancestors, and I think they're riding on the coattail, and I really don't see them doing a lot for the black community. Only when shit like this pop off. If you're going to ride and die for the black community, do this shit before another George Floyd dies. Do this shit before another white cop kills an unarmed black man. Do that. Don't do that shit because the camera's on and now you can get some attention and get your name back out there. See, people, you got to keep, you have to be real with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. The days of peaceful protesting and all that other shit, it does not work. You gotta put your hands, you gotta put your, like what people say when that food is so good, like you put your drawers in it, man. You gotta put your drawers in it to get fucking heard, man. You understand? You got to put your drawers in it to get heard. And that's the only way that shit has gone this far. Because like I said again, the peaceful protesting does not work until after we get our voices heard. Now we got their, this is what I think. Now that we got their attention, and some of our young people, and I congratulate them a lot, they're saying, look, we tired of the bullshit, and if you don't make change, we're going to fuck some more shit up. So that's getting everybody into a panic. Gucci and Versace and the Ferrari dealerships and all this other shit are getting afraid because they fucking up their shit. You want to fuck up our lives and don't give a fuck? Then we're going to have to fuck some shit up to get heard. And that is the bottom fucking line. But again, defunding the police is not saying that there will not be any more police officers on the beat. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying in a nutshell, what I'm hearing is, why am I going to pay you to kill me? I don't want to keep paying fucking taxes every year, and part of my taxes go to the fucking departments that help suppress me. And why am I paying taxes in the first fucking place? Why is FICA? Who the fuck is FICA? Who the fuck is FICA? How come FICA get my money before I get it? But you wanna tax the shit out of me, and then if I don't pay you enough at the end of the year, I still gotta give you some fucking money? But yet I'm struggling to pay my fucking bills? I can't live the life of every other American citizen. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't live Jay-Z life because I don't have Jay-Z money. But I should be able to live Tom's life, and he got the same income as me, and he don't have to worry about going into the store getting racial profiled or calling the cops because he tripped on a crack. Officer, there's a black man walking down the street and he stepped over a crack. I think he's committing a criminal act. Something that fucking stupid. See, my white friends, and by no means am I racist. And let me explain this to you again. I'm not going to sit up here and say I have a whole bunch of white friends, because I don't. Have I dated white people in the past? Sure. Have I dated black people in the past? Sure. I've dated a Jamaican. I've dated a Puerto Rican. Was she Puerto Rican? Yeah, she was. I've dated blacks, whites. So, therefore, it does not matter to me. You like who you like. Do you have friends that's white? Nah, I currently don't have any other than my man's wife. That's one of the white people that I know. And she, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this man's wife. For her to invite me to her house, not knowing me at all, that says a lot about her character. Because I know who run that house. Sorry, E. I know who make them decisions. I know when you presented that idea to her, hey, man, I seen these dudes on YouTube, man, when they come to the house. I know you had to pass that shit by her. You understand what I'm saying? And she may have seen a couple of videos. I'm like, yeah, he cool as fuck. So she allowed me to come. And I appreciate her for that. So I can't be racist. If I don't like a person, I don't like a person. It's not because of the color of your skin. It's because of the actions that you have done against me. So if you're an asshole, I don't fuck with you. You could be black, white, Mexican. You could be a motherfucker from Venus or Mars or whatever the fuck. If you fuck me over, I no longer fuck with you. And that's the bottom line. Right? But what I'm saying is white people. I appreciate all of the white people and other races that went out there and helped us get to where we're going, because we did not do it alone. We did not get this word passed alone. We did not get this movement passed alone. All blacks, you can't just put it on like all black people got this murder of George Floyd. You can't put that on that, oh, we got that word, we did that. No. It was a combined effort of every race that said, hey, we fucking tired of this shit. You got motherfuckers from the jungles. The jungles that was riding. The shit that tripped me out was when the Amish came out there. How the fuck the Amish get wind of this when they ain't got no TV and the Walmart's closed? Yeah, I'm telling you, the motherfucking Amishers, they came out and they helped protest. So everybody had a part to play in it. But what I'm saying is that we appreciate what you've done. At least I appreciate what you've done. But at the end of the day, you could never experience what we experience, right? You can see it, but you will never experience. And because you see it, and because you have a conscience, now I'm talking to the good white people, because you see it and you have a conscience, you said, we tired of this shit. We have our white privilege, but we're tired of it. We're all fucking human. If I cut you, you're going to bleed the same color as I. So what makes you different from me? Okay, you got titties. I'm a little fat, so yeah, I got a little bit of titties. You got balls. No. Oh, well, that'd be different if you got balls. And it doesn't fucking matter. You got balls, I got balls. You don't got balls, I got balls. It doesn't fucking matter, right? People as a whole are getting tired of the bullshit. They're getting tired of it. And that's what you're seeing, right? That is exactly what you're seeing. And I got there was a comment that this guy made on the YouTube side. And he basically said the music was annoying. And I thanks E for pointing that out, because I didn't know that the track was still playing. So he commented on that, and he was like, "Your music is annoying." Okay. That's fine. I mean, I don't listen to that. I don't listen to none of that shit. And to be a former rap artist, right? It's strange that I don't listen to rap. I mean, the music was my love, but I fell a little bit out of love with doing the music thing, performing and producing and shit like that. Other than when I do like video production and shit. That's the only time that I really fuck with the music scene. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to what I was saying, right? You have to take some type of drastic measures to show people that, hey, we're no longer going to tolerate these actions. And what's so fucked up is that there are cases still coming out after the murder of Mr. Floyd of police misconduct. There have been a couple of murders after Mr. Floyd's death by the hands of officers. And then New York some of these cops in New York, all that video, y'all gotta watch that video, and I'm gonna do an episode on that because I can't figure out this man's name. But he is a total jackass. He's sitting up there, well, the police and we getting hit and all this. Did you see the fucking NYPD run over peaceful protesters? Did you see that? Did you see them tase and pepper spray people? Did you see them knock a man down, an old man down? But you talk none of that. Oh, we condemn what they did to Mr. Floyd and all this other stuff, but it ain't no but. You should understand where these people are coming from. They're coming from a place of hurt. Mr. Floyd, all due respect, he is not the first, and he damn sure is not going to be the last African American that got killed by the police. He is not the first African American that has been killed on tape by the police, and he won't be the last. So if you can't understand where our frustration comes from, then you're part of the fucking problem. You have these white people making these jokes, posting these pictures of them kneeling on somebody's neck, calling them the Floyd challenge. How disrespectful and ignorant is that? But you know, they wouldn't do that in front of a black person. And a lot of people are wondering why haven't I personally gone down to the Black Lives Matter street and protest down there, right? But I did try to go out to Waldorf or La Plata when I heard that they were protesting that night. I did, and you know, I got proof of that. You saw the video. I went live. I don't think that I can fucking handle it. I would need somebody there, because I would fucking lose it. And I'm being honest with you. I mean, you see how I have no filter right here. Imagine me being down there. So I'm gonna have to wait till that shit cool off a little bit. Because if I overhear something, or there's a Karen or Ken that comes up and starts talking that bullshit, I don't think I have enough bail money in the bank to get out. So I would suggest for me to stay my black ass where I'm at until it cools down. I am eventually going to go down there, but I don't trust myself going down there, because it's only going to take one thing for me to pop off, right? So I'm going to stay clear. I'm going to stay clear of that, right? But again, you people that are getting upset and outraged about them saying defunding the police, that's something that needs to happen, because we can no longer tolerate the injustice done to only us by the hands of a department that is there to supposedly protect and serve, not disrespect and kill. Right? And then we need more officers on the force that speak up, that say, hey man, cut that shit out. Take your knee off his neck. It's no need for you to escalate that. Chill out. If you want to reprimand him in front of you have to reprimand him right then and there, because you can't later have him to take action and then go back and say, man, nah, you shouldn't have did that. You need to reprimand him there because we need to see that. We need to see that other police are holding other police accountable for their actions. So if you're an officer and you're out on the beat and you get a call for something and you see your partner disrespecting a civilian, whether they're white, black, or whether they're a teenager or whatever, if you see disrespectment there, you should step in. Hey man, chill out. There's no need for you to have that much aggression, especially over something that's not warranted. You have to understand that if you became a police officer or if you wanted to become a police officer, there is a risk that comes with that. You leave out your house every day and should pray and say, God, please let me make it back home to my family. Because there are a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there. And I understand that they go through the stress, but you can't categorize everybody as that last motherfucker that you dealt with. You can't. Because when we put every cop in the same bracket, then it comes out, oh, well, we're not all like that. But why don't you give us that same treatment? You pull me over, I'm chilling. You should be on the force long enough to observe and think on your feet quick. If you're not a rookie, you should be able to think on your feet quick. If you pull up to a car, you see a baby in the back seat, you go to the car, you don't smell no weed. The man got his hands 10 and 2 on the fucking steering wheel. You kind of got to think, I don't think he's going to pose a threat. But just in case, I'm going to stay ready. Right? That's the way that you should be able to approach these situations. You shouldn't just approach a situation where you're gung-ho. You got your hand on your pistol over a traffic violation, or if you come into a situation where you have a dispute or argument between two people. You must understand, before you became a police officer, I guarantee that you've been in situations that from your personal life that you had heated arguments with another person. And you should know how you would react if an outside motherfucker came up and started barking orders. Get over here. Sit. Girl, sit. Sit. So you should approach the situation like it was one of your family members, right? Stop. Don't get up here. The community would have more respect for an officer if they did not come gung-ho. You shouldn't come like big badass John Wayne and look, I understand, like I said again, I understand what you got to do, right? I understand that the job is hectic. I understand that the job is stressful. I understand that the job is dangerous. But that does not give an officer the cause to behave in a manner which they don't want. If they weren't an officer, want somebody to subject on them, or in a way that they wouldn't want somebody to subject on their kids. What would you do if you weren't an officer and you pulled up and you saw your loved one with a knee on his neck? What if you are an officer and you pulled up and you saw somebody with a knee on their neck? There have been police officers like one in New York that came out because there was some shit going in front of his house, and he came out to inspect the shit, and he was later on shot as well, right? And he's going through a lawsuit right now, and the police department just totally wiped the just totally fucking Just disband them, man. Oh, that's why it wasn't coming on. Okay. So, you have to be my black people and my white brothers and sisters. Just know this. Understand that this is coming so heavy to the black community. We're in a pandemic that the Grand Wizard has caused. He's responsible for this shit. We're in a state where we're getting behind in our bills. It's stress going on in our household. People are losing loved ones, family members. People are going through a hard time. And then on top of that, we're still struggling with being black in America. And we see that when things are done to us, there is no repercussion of the person that have done us wrong. But yet we see, if it's flipped on the other side, that a lot of people just get a slap on the wrist or found not guilty. How can you be found not guilty when you took some person's life? That's the reality that we're dealing with. We're dealing with people like Drew Sleaze saying fucking comments like he did, where now he's apologizing. Not for him saying that what he said was wrong, and now he sees the light. He's not saying that. Drew Sleaze has apologized because it was taken out of character. That is why people are going to fuck him up this coming football season. I'm telling you, I'm not a big sports fan, but watch the first Saints game. Watch how motherfuckers step to the right or left. He's going to get sacked the shit out of this year. So Drew Sleaze, my recommendation to you is to fucking retire, because them boys are going to break your ass up. They're going to treat you like they did RG3. I'm just saying. Watch what I say. Watch how I predict that's going to happen, just like I predicted that all this shit right here was going to happen. I predicted it on everything. I predicted this shit was going to happen. I told y'all. A lot of people warned y'all, but I told y'all. I was one of the people that predicted this shit was going to happen too. But the person that predicted this shit is Colin Kaepernick. And one more thing before I go. And I'm talking to the rich people, the millionaires. No, two more things. The millionaires is sitting on the sideline, especially if you're black, like Oprah and Puffy and some other coon ass people. They're not speaking up for us. Where's Oprah? Where's Puffy? Where are some of the other people that y'all idolize? Listen to their music. Where's Young Jock? Where's all the motherfuckers on Love and Hip Hop? Except for the exception of Cardi B. Where are all these other hip hop stars, these music people, these actors, these actresses? Where are they? Now there was a lot of there were a couple of black rap artists that came out. G.O.A.T, I think, was one of them. But then, like, Nick Cannon came out too, right? So I got to give big ups to him. But I do have a problem with Nick Cannon, right? I understand he wanted to get his message across, but he should have not used the backdrop of this incident as part of his video. I think that was a dumb move. I appreciate what he did, but that part was a dumb move. And also, there was another rapper that did a video that used this again as a backdrop for their video, which was stupid. And I want to, the girl, now I got that across. Somebody that's watching this, either you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, remind me of the girl's name that filmed George Floyd's death. Girl, I'm gonna try to find it out now. Girl who filmed George Floyd. Okay. She was a teenager. Teen who recorded George Floyd death footage, forced to move home over. Damn. She was forced to move from her house. Okay. Darnell of Frasier is her name. Darnell of Frasier. She is 17 years old, and she and my book, that little girl is a fucking hero. She filmed the 8 minutes, the last 8 minutes of his life. I'm pleading to anybody that watches this stream that knows anybody that's famous, any big time rappers, any big time actors, any big time politicians. This is what I want y'all to do. I want you to call on your, even you dudes that's out there on the street that's making that money. What I would like for y'all to do is to give this girl as much money as you can possibly give her. I would ask that, like, people like 50 Cent or Puffy. Yeah, Puffy don't really care. Or Oprah. She don't really care. Oprah, give her a car. Give her a car. Pay her insurance off for like 2-3 years. People like 50 Cent or John Single, I'm sorry. People like, Snoop and these other great entertainers. Get this girl, turn this girl into a millionaire. Lil Wayne. Oh, nah, Lil Wayne ain't gonna do it because he don't see racism. Ain't that a bitch? And you from New Orleans, but you don't see racism. After you done seen all this shit, you still don't see racism? Turn that girl into a millionaire. And I tell you why. Because not only should y'all be saying George Floyd's name, you should be saying her name as well. Darnell of Frasier. Darnell of Frasier. This girl has been getting death threats, so she had to move away from her home. And all she did was she was part of, which I hope will be a solution for this country. Her name should be in the history books, just like Rosa Parks. Just like Rosa Parks. Y'all should treat this woman just like Rosa Parks. She should be in the history books. And I'm definitely going to do an episode on that. I'm going to do that tomorrow, right? But hey, don't start that. So Darnell Frasier, if y'all know anybody in the entertainment business, Tyler Perry, come on, man. She is the modern day Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, right? Because if y'all gonna say that Rosa Parks helped bring awareness to the fight for black equality, then Darnell Frasier should be held at that same status. Because without her video, none of this would have happened. So you have to give that girl credit. You have to show her appreciation. If I was a billionaire, she would already be a millionaire right now. Because I would have gladly gave her, if I was a billionaire, I'd have gave her at least like $20 million right now. I would have. Bam, there she go. And it wouldn't have even been in the trust fund. It would have been like, here, set up a bank. Come on, let's go to the bank and deposit this. Give you a debit card. You good. That's if I was rich. If I was a billionaire, she would be a millionaire right now, right? So I'm pleading to everybody. Now I'm not telling y'all to give, right? Because I know everybody's in a struggle right now. I could give her like maybe $5. Because I couldn't even do that because I need that for gas. But if I was still working at my last job, I'd have gave this girl. I would have reached out to this girl and gave her some money because I appreciate what she did, right? She was the one that got the ball rolling because she filmed that jackass killing Mr. Floyd. You understand? But if I was a billionaire, I'd have gave her $20 million off the break. Probably more than that because she brought this shit to the front. It's not the Al Sharptons. It's not the Jesse Jacksons. It's not the fucking the other people that was involved. These big names. No, y'all forgetting about that girl, Darnell Frasier. Y'all forgetting about her because she was the one that got this ball rolling. And if y'all are going to, if the history books are going to put Rosa Parks in there as being a part of the movement, then this young girl, she should definitely be in the history books. Not only should she be in the history books, since we got so many of these rich entertainers, show your appreciation. Now, I'm not saying, give her $1 million out of your pocket and stuff like that. If you want to, then that's fine, right? But I think that this girl should be well off for the rest of her life. She should have a car that should be paid off, insurance paid off. Matter of fact, she should get a new car every 3 years. Every 3 years, she should get a brand new car. She should be set the fuck up in a house. She should be set the fuck up for a college fund. She should be set up for, future children that she might have, because this girl is suffering real bad, real bad. And I know I'm off topic, but I'm just saying I'm gonna do an episode tomorrow about her. All right, but I looked her up because I didn't know what her name was, and not only her, the other people that was in that video, especially the white lady. Now see, especially the white lady, that the EMT that kept saying, "Can I check his pulse?" And then the brother that you hear on the tape. All three of them should be financially set for the rest of their fucking life. And if I had any way of doing that, then I would. I don't know the two names of the other two people that was there, but I do know Darnell of Frasier. I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but she brought this shit to a forefront. But getting back to the topic of what we're speaking about, yeah. Because when you defund the police, shit like this will be to a minimum. There's no need for you to go out here and ride gear and bring tanks and come out here with no badges to identify yourself. Number one, that shit is illegal, and that's why Mary Bowser, and I, you know what I'm saying, I fucks with her. You know what I'm saying? She was like, y'all gotta go. It's no need for this. It's no need for you to be out here terrorizing this community when there's not warranted for it. These people are protesting. They're doing they're practicing their rights. You know what I'm saying? And then for her to put Black Lives Matter and then change the street sign, oh boy. The Grand Wizard, he was hiding fish grease with that one. And the only other person that would have did that was Marion Barrett. I know Marion Barrett looking down like, yeah, you go, Slim. That's the only person. That's the only other person that would do it. Now we got two black mayors in Washington D.C. that's about some shit. The other two before Mary Bowser was some shit, because they sold out. That's how they got that fucking stadium down there. And that's how come they kicked all them people out of Berry Farms. With them other two mayors. And they was black. They sold out. I forget what their names were. But Mary Bowser, she basically said, fuck you, Grand Wizard. You know, they don't have any representation because they're not considered a state. So that's another fight. But yo, man, you got to do something. You got to go out here and get your voice heard by any means necessary. If you got to do what you got to do to get your voice heard, then that's when you take other actions. If you have to be destructive in your process to get your voice across, then that's what you have to do. Now, I don't agree with the mom and pop shops and shit like that, you know, destroying that. And I don't believe in going into people's neighborhoods destroying the homes. Nah, don't do that. You understand? So you got to cause a ruckus to get your voice heard. Because if not, that we shall overcome and those hymns, that shit ain't gonna work. They're gonna bash you right in the fucking mouth. Or they're gonna put you in a chokehold. Or they're gonna push you down and make you start leaking. Or they're gonna put you in the back of a police car and you're gonna end up dead. Or they're gonna take you to the jail and then you're gonna end up dead. It's so many fucking scenarios that if this shit is happening now, right? And there's still, and they're still doing it after the death of George Floyd, if they're still getting caught on camera committing acts against African Americans, if they're still getting caught while that tape is rolling, then you just imagine what it was like before the invention of camera cell phones. Because, see, when the police was whooping our ass back in the day, you couldn't afford a cell phone with a camera on it. Y'all know them fucking cell phones that had the 2 different antennas on it? I don't know what the fuck that was for, but the big ass cell phones with the 2 antennas, or the big New Jack City cell phones, the motherfuckers ain't had camera phones on them. And police was kicking people's ass back then. But then when we went to court, just like I don't fuck with Judge Judy, I think Judge Judy is an asshole, because in one of her episodes, a guy, it was a black man, he said something about this officer did something to him, and Judge Judy said the police don't do that. They're not trained to do that, sir. And she just kept cutting them off. I wonder how the fuck she feel now. But that's why I don't fuck with Judge Judy. You know what I'm saying? So, before they had cell phones, I mean, they had camcorders, but who you knew in the hood that had a fucking camcorder, a portable camcorder? They wasn't those big fucking, I mean, these small camcorders. They were them big ass VHS tapes camcorders. The big heavy dude, just like my JVC 700U. I mean, it's a professional camcorder though. But they had those. And to pull that shit out while your homeboy getting his ass whipped, they would have saw that and they would have confiscated. They didn't have no body cams. So it was your word against the police officer's word. And guess who they gonna believe? You. Not you, the police officer. That's who they gonna believe. They're not gonna believe a citizen. You go to court. You went to Upper Marlboro Court in the 80s. Oh, the officer slapped the shit out of me. Nah, the officer didn't do that. Because officers aren't trained to do that. And you got a big ass handprint on the side of your face. Officer didn't do that. You did that yourself. Officers don't commit those type of crimes. So just imagine all the shit that was happening before the invention of cell phones, before the invention of social media. You gotta understand, man. People are tired of the bullshit. We're tired of the bullshit. We're tired of not being listened to. We're tired of being attacked and no retribution behind that. We're just fucking tired of it, man. But again, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go, right? And I'm going to say this one more time. Defunding the police has nothing to do with getting rid of the police. So it's not open seasoning on criminal activity. There's still going to be cops in place. They're allocating the funds that they give to the police elsewhere where it can make more of a difference to poverty, to these underachieving communities, to other resources that will help the communities. That's where they're trying to get the funding to go to. And as far as like a police budget, I don't know how they're going to do that in that part. What I do know, in fact, check my credibility. I don't know how they're going to pay the police, But defunding the police does not mean getting rid of the police. And that's what a lot of people are getting outraged about. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they're saying. Apparently, there are some higher uppers that are now seeing what we see. And they're saying, why are we paying these officers to commit crimes? Why are we giving them all this riot gear and they're using it for reasons other than what it's supposed to be used for? Right? My last job, I had a company gas card. Right? I had a company gas card. And I had a company truck. That was only supposed to be used on my company truck. If I would have gassed up any one of my cars with that, then that would have been a reason for them to terminate me. I'm like, okay, you're fired because of that reason, because you're putting gas money in both of your cars. Yeah. That's the exact reason for the defunding. Because that riot gear and all that other stuff, these tanks and all this other stuff, it's not going to where it's supposed to go. It's not being used for what they intended it to be. It is used to brutalize people. There's no need for you to come out in riot gear when you're protesting peacefully. And for you people that want to argue that statement, where was the riot gear when all them white people came down there and tried to reopen up the economy? There was no riot gear there. There was none there. There was police presence, but they didn't have on no fucking riot gear. They ain't had that shit on. And you can actually see video of them calmly talking to him. Well, you can actually see video of them standing there. And these motherfuckers had guns. Calling out the, what was it? The mayor, I think. I could be wrong. They was calling out some public official. And they had guns. Where was the riot gear and the tanks and the smoke grenades and all that other shit when that happened? But yet you want to pull all that shit out on people protesting peacefully. And then that jackass New York cop wants to cry and say, oh, man, the police officers in New York are not like that. We don't do that. And then he made a statement that, oh, well, their kids saying that they're afraid to go home because they're scared to be shot by the police. He said, who does that? What type of world do we live in? There's plenty of cases in New York of cops stopping and frisking. There's plenty of cases in New York of police harassing kids. Now, some of these kids don't look teenage. So when they're walking home from school, some of them don't have backpacks. So they're walking around with the pants sagging. And that pants sagging, let me tell y'all something. The pants sagging come from jail. And when you sag your pants, that means that you was ready to get fucked. That you're ready to be fucked. So when you walk around with your pants sagging and the nigga come home from jail and he see that, he see them drawers, you gonna want to pull your pants up. A nigga that did a 20-year bid and he see you walking around with your drawers, showing your drawers, that's not hip hop. That's you ready to get fucked. That's where that came from. So, like I said, New York, it's plenty of times where these kids walk home and they're being harassed by cops. And he's saying that none of that shit has happened. Look at the video of after George Floyd's death of them cops running those peaceful protesters over with their vehicles. Now, I remember the video, but don't they have numbers on the top of their police cars to identify who was in that truck or who was in that car? And then you want to make the argument about police don't do that. Give me a fucking break. And then you have police officers that quit the force, but they still want to get paid. You go work at Burger King and you go work at Walmart and say, "Hey, I quit." Think Walmart's still gonna pay you? I guarantee you're not gonna get unemployment. Because they say you quit. You can only You can only get unemployment if you get fired. You don't get unemployment when you quit. I may be wrong. Fact check that. I don't know. But these officers want to leave their jobs just because now they're getting their power stripped. They're saying that we're no longer able to do our job effectively. Why are you getting mad and quitting? Because they're saying that they're tired of being harassed and killed. Are you quitting because now they're going to take your right away to jam a nigga up for no fucking reason, to pepper spray somebody for no reason, to tase somebody for no reason, to put a chokehold on somebody for no reason? Are you afraid of that? That's why.
Motion detected at the
That's why the police want to resign. Yeah, I think they wanted to. They're resigning. They want to resign, but they still want to get paid. I'm telling you, people. Y'all need to wake the fuck up. Stop sleeping. Please stop sleeping and wake up. Do your part to make yourself heard. Do your part to bring justice back. Do your part. One man or 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people can't do it alone. We need more than that. This move has become so big that it spilled over into other countries. China. Fucking China. Where they're limited on how many babies they can have. They're protesting. And it's worse over there. Because when you disrespect the government, shit happens. This shit is happening. People are protesting in the jungles. On some real shit, man. These motherfuckers are I don't know who they protesting against, but the people that live in the jungles and shit, they're coming out protesting. People in Europe are protesting. People from other continents are protesting. Why? Because police brutality is going on around America and voices aren't getting heard. This is not the first time, man. And unfortunately, this is not going to be the last time. But I think some minor change will happen. But I don't think that it will be a lot. And even with change, they're going to find a way to bring it back to what it was. It may die down a while, but it's always going to come back. Hey, you can order a hot pizza, and you can always warm it back up when it get cold. So the only thing they're going to do is just find a microwave to warm racism back up or warm police brutality back up again. Because right now, it's getting a little cold. It's getting room temperature. But them motherfuckers going to put it back in the microwave. I'm trying to tell you. So, hey, man. Again, I'm going to let y'all leave. But guess what? Y'all need to do better. Everybody needs to do better. Everybody needs to do better. And, you know, whatever I can do, I would. You know what I'm saying? I have a platform. It's small. My voice don't get heard, but from a few. So I'm just a grain of sand on the beach. So that's what a lot of people think about my comments and what I believe. You know, I have a platform that I give anybody an opportunity to speak on. And the difference between my platform and everybody else's, oh, one of my lights just went, is that I don't hold any censorship.
Motion detected at the front door.
If you want to debate about something, you can come on the show. We can do a live or pre-recorded. I don't edit out anything. Just as long as you respect me, I will respect you. And even if you disrespect me, I mean, I'll cut your ass off. I'll just end the interview. But I won't say anything negative about you. I mean, there's so many comments. Look at some of the episodes of the gaming show that we have done, that Mike and I have done together. There are so many comments on there that we get a lot of hate. We get a lot of hate on there. A lot. But we don't censorship. We don't do censorship. I've had people comment on us that was real bad. And I actually sent like them digital codes for video games. They would talk mad shit about us. And I would say, hey, I appreciate your comment. You know, this channel is free. You have freedom of speech. By the way, here's a code for such and such. Enjoy. And then you know what some of the motherfuckers would do? They would come back and say, man, I am so sorry. I'm sorry for what I said. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. And I just took it like, hey man, don't apologize. Because you have freedom, you have your freedom of speech. And then some people are saying, oh, well, you backtracking. Drew Brees, well, I call him Sleaze. He has freedom of speech. Yeah, he does. He does. He has the freedom to say whatever the fuck that he wants to. But at the time, and that's no excuse, his statement is wrong. Because kneeling is not about disrespecting the flag. Kaepernick told y'all that's verbatim. The man who started that told you out of his mouth that what the cause was about. He did not say anything about disrespecting the flag. He said it was to bring awareness to black people getting killed by the hands of police. That's what he said. And then another reason why I'm like, fuck Drew Sleaze, is that he think that his grandfather and his father was Batman and Superman, and they won the fucking war by themselves. And see, what you racist people don't understand, I'm going to end the video after this. What you racist people don't understand is that those wars that was fought by Drew Sleaze's grand ancestors was also fought by African Americans. But you know the difference between that is that when the white people came back, they came back to all types of praises. They came back to confetti and balloons. As I said, they came back to side pussy and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They came back to all this shit. Congratulations. Total endearment, love, discounts, free shit. But when there goes Mother Light. So let me see. Now I know how long these lights last. But when black people came back from the war, they came back to total disrespect. They came back to lynchings. They came back to murder. They came back to going back into slavery, which they were promised their freedom that they didn't get. No side pussy. None of that. They ain't come back to a hero's welcome. They came back to, you are the enemy. You still the enemy. You still uneducated. You still dumb. Even though some of them even risked their lives. There's plenty of black veterans that went out there and risked their lives. Lost limbs. And they came back to, nah, remember you a nigga. That's what they came back to. So they weren't allowed the same freedom as them they didn't come back to the same freedom. I gotta get out of here because there's a net or something flying around in here. But that's the end of the stream, man. Hey, look, I want to appreciate everybody that came in. And again, man, Darnell of Frasier. If y'all know anybody of superstar status, I mean, people that got a lot of money, y'all need to reach out to them and say, hey, make that girl well off. 17-year-old girl that filmed George Floyd's death, in my opinion, she should be another Rosa Parks. Y'all should treat her like another Rosa Parks. But put a twist on it. There wasn't a lot of black millionaires back in Rosa Parks days. There's a lot of black millionaires now. So break that girl off some funds, man. If I could, I would. But I don't. All right? So, Kane, move out. Move.
Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't it?
Listen.
All right, so look, man. Appreciate everybody that watched the live stream or just watching the rebroadcast of this.
Listen.
Look, man,
Ain't
people
that
talk
a
about
bitch?
the day that you died. There ain't a damn thing that you can do about it, right? But if I have offended you of anything that I've said, guess
Listen.
what?
Ain't that a bitch?
That, but you'll be all right. Hey, man, appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to talk more about
Listen. Ain't that a bitch?
Darnell of Frasier, if I'm saying that. So, appreciate y'all, man. I'll holler at y'all.
Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't it?
Listen. Ain't that a bitch?